In problems 3 and problems 4, we were asked to calculate the coefficient of variation, something that we're quite familiar with due to our discussion board work, and also the correlation coefficient between two of the variables. Unless I'm mistaken, I could not find anywhere in our statistics, our descriptive statistics that are done automatically by Excel, I could not find anywhere where the coefficient of variation was calculated. However, you know very well that it's quite simple, and I'm looking at our table of descriptive statistics now, and we can calculate it real simply, right? We all know that it's equal to the standard deviation divided by the mean times 100. So in Excel, I can put that equation in real easily. Let's see. Every equation begins with an equal sign in Excel, and now I'm going to just click on cells to specify them. I want the standard deviation. Now hit my slash key. That's divided by the mean and times 100. To put it in percent, hit my enter key, and there it is. The CV is 37%. I can use autofill in Excel. That's when you point to this little lower right-hand corner, you get the black plus sign, then you can click and drag to copy that equation. And there's my CV values. I might make those a little bit smaller like that. Real simple. You weren't asked to compare these values. I forget which ones you were asked to compare, but I bet it's going to be interesting. Okay, problem 4 asked us to determine the coefficient of correlation between variable 29, the number of people in the house, and variable 30, age. What we're asking is there any relation between a person's age and how many children they have in the house? Yeah, that's what we're asking. And so how do we do that? Well, we have to get back to our data. It's 29 and 30. And you know, you have to play with this a little bit, and I'll talk about this in a second, but first I'm gonna select those two variables, and I'm gonna do that. And now let's see, I believe in the data tab, data analysis will do correlation for us. Group by columns, labels in the first row, put them in a new worksheet. Yes, we say okay, and I can see he's opened up worksheet 12, and I believe that's my value right there if I did it right. My coefficient of correlation is 0.0991. Well, I wasn't supposed to show you that, I just did the work, right? Well, it's the interpretation that's the work. But let's go back there. And I'd also like to do what your author did and do something that's, I know some of you overachievers are going to want to do. By the way, I'm really impressed with the work you guys did on your first paper from Critical Thinking 1. They were wonderful. Just very good. Okay, so your author said we can create a scatter plot by, in Excel, it's easiest if you select your data first, so my data is still selected. I'm going to hit Insert, Scatter, and I'm going to choose first one, Scatter with only markers, and there popped up my graph. What a graph it is. Well, let's get a little bit of space here. Okay, what are we looking at? We're looking at, let's see, this was age along the vertical axis, and at the horizontal is the number of kids. Now, when we build a graph, typically, I mean, it's a very standard practice to put what we term the independent variable along the bottom. That means oftentimes it's time. It's the thing we're measuring against. Well, we actually wanted to know if age had anything with the number of children being in the bottom. So actually, we have this graph turned around. And so I'm going to delete it, and Gosh, I guess I need to turn these two rows around because the way you select them is the way Excel uses them. Oh, but you can get fancy. Well, wait a second, Craig. That can't be. It can't be that difficult. Let's select them again. Let's create a scatter diagram. And let's go into select data and switch row column. There's a nice button. Did it work? Not sure. Let's try it. Where'd my graph go? Oh yeah, looks wonderful, doesn't it? No, that didn't work. That didn't work. I don't know. I think you could probably figure it out. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to grab this column. And I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it over next to this guy. And now I'm going to highlight those two and create my scatter diagram. And now it's aligned properly. I've got my independent variable age, and the variable we're measuring against age, the number of children, on the vertical axis, what we term the dependent axis. All right, what we're looking for here is some correlation. Is there some relationship between these two? You know, if there was, we might see all the values scattered about a line. They would form some sort of a line, but actually I don't see a thing here. Looks like there's absolutely nothing to do with each other. Well, I guess I'm giving away the farm here. Our author said if we right-click on any data point and say add trend line, Excel will add a line for us that's the best fit regression line. And let's see, I want to display the equation, and I want the r-squared value. That's the coefficient of determination. And I'm going to make my line a little bit thicker so I can see that thing in there. All right, good enough. Grab my equations, pull them out. And now I have an equation of the line that's supposed to fit that data and an r-squared value, a coefficient of determination. Now, coefficients of determination above 0.9 indicate that there's a strong correlation between the two variables. But this one is extremely, extremely low. There's nothing happening here, folks. And I'm going to leave that up to you to tell me how you interpret that. What does that tell us about the relationship between age and the number of children in the home? Okay, I think that's it. I hope this has been helpful. Again, I'm doing this because you guys are telling me it really helped you in the first one, and I'll continue as long as you keep telling me that. Good luck. See you in the boards.